Privat will be sharing with us the projects that here at Block&Change we believe in. So Lubik and I, we will be both just leading the conversation with them. Actually, they will both share their presentations, and then we will be going through some questions. So aquí me equivoqué en los nombres, no es Joan ni Arthur, sino que son Ángel y Privat quienes nos van a estar presentando dos proyectos en los que creemos mucho aquí en Block&Change. Y bueno, Lubika y yo vamos a estar moderando esta parte, cada uno de ellos va a presentar sus slides y a partir de ahí vamos a hacerle algunas preguntas, ¿ok? Así que, so, sorry for that, yeah, here you have the right name, Privat, Yves. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, you have to pronounce it for us. And Ángel Huastaferro, they both have very long, complicated last names for either language. So, Ángel, you want to start with your presentation?
¿La presentación? Yes. Ok.
Yes, yes.
Sí. Bueno, la voy a hacer en español y the English speaking crowd can read it because it's written in English and I will be exposing in Spanish, and then when you have questions in English, I can answer in English or Spanish. Okay, so when I lived in Canada a few years ago, I realized...
o en inglés.
Ok, switch pasado. Cuando viví en Canadá hace varios años, me di cuenta que mucha gente, muchísima gente donaba, muchísima gente tenía su tarjeta de crédito con fundaciones para donar dinero, para ayudar a la sociedad. Es algo que no se ve en Latinoamérica, ni en África, ni en Asia del Oeste, ni ¿por qué? Son sociedades altamente corruptas y donde nadie confía en su vecino y nadie confía ni en su sombra. Entonces las fundaciones no tienen el dinero y los fondos que pudieran tener. Y entonces es un problema sobre problema, porque ¿dónde se necesitan más estas donaciones? En Latinoamérica y en los países pobres. ¿Dónde llegan menos estas donaciones? En Latinoamérica y en países pobres. ¿Por qué? Porque nadie confía en nadie. Ok, entonces, ¿qué podemos hacer al respecto? Podemos tener un sistema en blockchain transparente, ¿verdad? Revisable y público, donde los donantes pueden ver un recibo de su donación y un recibo de lo que se hizo con ese dinero o con esa donación. ¿Ok? Y esto, bueno, alguien piensa, bueno, pero ya blockchain me tiene esto registrado, pero la mayoría de la gente no usa blockchain. Estas donaciones son en efectivo, en billetes, en PayPal, en banco, en una bolsa de comida. Entonces, esto no es que ya está en blockchain y ya no. Esto hay que pasarlo a blockchain y entonces hay que construir una base de confianza a las fundaciones para que entonces abran el canal de la prosperidad, porque si no, personalmente yo cuando veo que alguien aquí en Venezuela está pidiendo dinero, yo lo primero que pienso es, bueno, ¿cuánta cocaína van a comprar con mi donación? O sea, no me inspiran a que yo done nada. Entonces tiene que haber, es indispensable un mecanismo donde yo pueda ver qué se está haciendo con mi dinero. Entonces, en el prototipo que estamos haciendo en este momento es un contrato de NFT modificado. Entonces, los atributos, en vez de ser sombrero amarillo, perro rojo, fondo rosado, los atributos son fecha, nombre del donante, cuánto dinero donó y para qué lo quiere usar. Eso es cuando se recibe. Y cuando se usa el dinero, los atributos son fecha, cuánto dinero se usó, qué producto o servicio se adquirió y qué personal administrativo gastó este dinero. Y en vez de la foto, en vez de ser la foto de un muñequito, es la foto de la factura, ¿verdad? La foto de la factura. Entonces, aquí está la factura, aquí está, y con esta factura se compró esto. Entonces, esta es la foto. Entonces, en blockchain tiene registrado esta data y la foto es la factura. Necesitas las dos ¿verdad? Porque la data la puedes inventar, pero la factura, bueno, también puedes inventar la factura, pero ya es mucho más difícil. Entonces tienes la data y tienes la factura, ¿ok? Entonces, estamos pensando en una institución piloto para probar esta idea. Es la Escuela de Música Sebastián Echeverría Lozano, aquí en Venezuela. Como pueden ver, tiene casi 100 años esta institución. Y yo tengo ahí un gran amigo que es profesor de piano acá, ¿ok? Entonces, bueno, algunas fotos de la escuela. Esta escuela necesita todo. Ya van a ver por qué les digo yo que esta escuela necesita absolutamente todo. O sea, no hay nada que le sobre, absolutamente nada. Entonces, alguna información sobre la escuela, ¿verdad? Ya dijimos, Venezuela. Tiene 424 estudiantes, 25 profesores, un personal administrativo y el sueldo es de $5 a $20 al mes, ¿verdad? Cuando ustedes ven en un reportaje que alguien es extremadamente pobre y miserable porque gana $1 al día, pues en Venezuela no llegamos a $1 al día, ¿ok? Esto es de $5 a $20 al mes, dependiendo de la tasa de cambio del dólar, ¿ok? Entonces, aquí se puede hacer de todo, o sea, ellos están listos para recibir para pintura, becas para los profesores, instrumentos, remodelaciones, aire acondicionado, absolutamente todo. Están listos para recibir todo porque necesitan todo. ¿Cómo me va a mí entrar confianza a darles dinero a ellos? Bueno, déjame ver qué estás haciendo con mi dinero. Déjame ver qué impacto está teniendo. Si no, no. O sea, si no, yo no confío en nadie, ni en el cura. O sea, hasta las iglesias deberían adoptar esto, ¿verdad? ¿Qué está pasando con este dinero de la limosna? ¿A dónde va? ¿Qué está pasando? Sí, ok, todo el mundo tiene que comer y todo el mundo tiene que usar carro, pero ¿para qué me estás pidiendo esto? No, bueno, hay que hacer este proyecto y usamos este dinero, ok, transparencia, a ver qué estás haciendo. Y cuando veo lo que estás haciendo y luego cuando confío en ti, entonces aquí está mi dinero. Si no, no. Entonces, bueno, este es el fin de mi exposición. Si tienen alguna pregunta, algún comentario.
Muchísimas gracias, Ángel. Thank you so much, Ángel, for sharing this. Lo que Ángel nos estaba comentando tiene que ver con la transparencia del registro en el blockchain. What he was telling us about is it's about transparency and how we can use blockchain to trace. This is why it's called Dona Trace, to trace where your money is going. There are already a lot of solutions out there where people can donate money through blockchain, but after the money reaches the organization, let's say, you don't know what happens there. And what we want to do is to go further and see where the money is actually going and how it's being used and spent. And yeah, so this is one key element. So, Ángel, antes de irnos con Privat, cuéntanos un poquito de dónde salió esta idea y cómo llegamos a trabajarla con Block&Change.
¿Inglés o español?
Both.
Both.
Spanglish.
Spanglish. All right, well, this idea came about from a desire to help society because my wage is much more than $20 per month and I can lend a hand, but I don't want to lend a hand if I don't know what they're going to do with my money. So I just, I have to know. I have to know. If I don't know, if I cannot see in public, then don't come with me. Like, and also, well, but we can, an institution, you can go there and you can ask for the papers of the receipts. Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck trying to deal with a bureaucrat that is tired and he doesn't want to see your face asking for the receipts of your donation 3 months ago, right? So it's not happening. It's not happening. So we need this to be easily accessible, and we need this to be You don't have to ask nobody for anything. It's just the information has to be there. Yes, Diana.
Sí, primero que nada, Ángel, 1 millón de gracias por estar aquí y enhorabuena por la maravillosa iniciativa que te has inventado y que has podido hacer. Mi pregunta es justamente esa, si has podido implementarla y cómo te ha ido con actually implementarla. Porque yo vengo de Cuba, yo no, yo migré a este país hace 9 meses con mi hija estudiaba piano en Cuba, en una escuela que se estaba cayendo también. Entonces entiendo perfectamente todo lo que me estás diciendo. Y luego cuando te escucho, digo, ¿y cómo haces para implementar eso? Porque yo no me imagino yo, por ejemplo, en un sistema como el de Cuba, tratando de implementar eso. Cuando vaya a decir, mira, yo tengo esta aplicación y si no es de esta forma que yo quiero donar este dinero, no sé que no me van a hacer ni más puto caso. Entonces, ¿cómo has sorteado esa fricción entre tu propuesta, que es espectacular, y que eso realmente ayuda a los niños, ayuda a la gente allí? Maybe I'm asking too many things in only one question, but basically for the English speaking participants, I'm asking how has how have you been able to implement this, to connect the institutions with the Web3 or blockchain initiatives that you have?
Ok, bueno, para la institución piloto, un amigo mío, él es profesor de ahí. Ahora, bueno, no puedes tener amigos en todas las instituciones, no, pero con institución piloto y con las instituciones que se quieran sumar, se tienen recibos. O sea, mira, esta institución, porque tiene de manera pública y transparente lo que hace con sus donaciones, ha incrementado la cantidad de dinero que reciben por, no sé, por el monto que se vaya a incrementar. O sea, tú quieres recibir donaciones, usa esta herramienta. No, que no quiero, que bueno, buena suerte. Nadie le va, o sea, le seguirán donando dos bolsas de arroz, pero que necesitas remodelar el lugar, necesitas $20,000 para remodelar el lugar. Bueno, ¿cómo vas a hacer? Pues, ¿cómo vas a hacer para, para vender esa idea, para vender esa necesidad? ¿Cómo vas a hacer para atraer ese dinero? Entonces, bueno, a la final no se puede obligar a ninguna institución a nada, pero estas instituciones se beneficiarían por adoptar esta iniciativa.
Gracias, Ángel. Después puedo agregar algo a eso. But Lubika, you have a question.
Yeah, muchísimas gracias, Ángel, para presentar eso. Y yo soy curiosa conocer in what stage, like, is the project and what we could offer, how we can help, like where you are now, where you want to be, I don't know, in 2 months, or to be more practical, what we could do,
So right now, what we need is a nice web page that can read the information from the smart contract, like a Web3 web page, The reader doesn't need to connect anything. You don't need to connect MetaMask to the website. The website just is reading from the smart contract and showing in some sort of entries, of countable entries, like number 1, and here's all this information, this is the date, this is what happened this day, we received this money. Then like an Excel sheet, but all very nicely presented. This is what we need. The prototype smart contract is already up, is already made, and we just have to use it. We just have to start using it, and then we will realize what more things we need after we have like a very nice presentable website.
Yes, I want to add to this that we started working on this prototype about a month ago with Angel. And yes, now we're working on the development of the website so that we can start implementing this with the music school. But like he said, this is first for like the first implementation will be with the music school. But the idea is to get it somehow inside of the government. And well, you know, Venezuela doesn't have the best government, but if you know some key person inside, you can start doing very, very small things so that people understand how the technology works, and hopefully this could be like a virus. This is our dream. O sea, la idea de hacer este prototipo con la escuela de música es que después se pueda implementar también a nivel gubernamental, metiéndolo en la, ¿cómo es, Ángel? En la, ¿dónde están los concejales, no? El
Concejalía,
municipio.
alcaldías.
Alcaldías, exacto. A nivel municipal, en transacciones y en cosas que sean muy pequeñitas, de manera que los políticos no se sientan amenazados, pero que poco a poco vayan viendo el uso de la tecnología y cómo incluso les puede facilitar el trabajo. Entonces, bueno, es un pequeño paso que queremos dar, pero para lograr cosas más grandes. Y era un poco lo que hablábamos también con Ross, es poder entrar a nivel de gobernanza más grande, ya implementando la tecnología de manera muy chiquitita. So yeah, this is what we're trying to do with Dona Trace and Block&Change. So hopefully you will hear more about this in September, when we have all of the website ready, up and running, so that you can also, you know, like donate and be a part and follow up like how things are being implemented, and yeah, and running already up there in Venezuela. And if this works, which we hope it will work, then we can export it to other countries in South America or Africa or Asia, wherever it is needed. So thank you so much, Ángel. Muchísimas gracias, Ángel, por estar aquí con nosotros en este momento. And well, now we want to introduce Privat, and yeah, the stage is yours. So let's hear this other amazing project that you have in Africa. And yes, so are you there? You can share your screen.
Yes. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be translating a little bit on the chat. So for the Spanish speakers, okay?
Okay,
Go
perfect.
ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. So hi guys. So my name is Privat, and I'm here to talk about the project I have. It's to connect African youth to the Web3. And right now we're facing an issue with internet. Yes, how to connect African to Web3 when we have this internet, when youth have difficulty to get access to internet. But first of all, I'm going just to talk about not all Africa, but just a part of the region from I'm from, the sub-Saharan Africa, so which represent 48 countries, and it's 1 billion population. So it's really huge population, and population under 40 years old is 60%. So it's very young population. So in Africa, most of the people use their mobile device to connect, to get access to internet. You know, it's a primary source of internet access. Why? It's just because simply the fixed broadband subscription is too expensive for the population. So it's just easier for them to get access to their internet access. But in 2023, people in the Francophone African countries start protest against the high price practice by the telecom companies. So it was a huge protest from the West Africa to Central Africa, and people, the consumer demanded fairer prices and better services. So it was a huge protest against the high price of internet. It was just a few months ago, and it hasn't stopped yet. But it was not the first time. In 2016, it was in South Africa. There was a huge protest because of the high price of internet, and they did a movement in Twitter with the hashtag data must fall. And it was the same thing in 2018 in Benin, where a protest against internet cost was just banned by the government. So the high price of mobile internet is not a huge new topic. We face this reality, and it's more and more complicated for just young people to get access to internet, and that will be just more difficult to them to get access to be part of the Web3 community if they don't have access to internet. So why is it really expensive? Just because the giga cost is just more expensive than France. Look here, for 1 gigabit, we spend almost 4.5 USD. Compared to Europe, they pay just 2.7 USD for just 1 gigabit. But also for household family, it's really complicated to get access, because they will pay 9% of their average income to just get access to internet, which is very high affordability of 1 gigabit data compared to the rest of the region. For instance, European Union, where it's less than $1 percent of the average of income. So it's really expensive, but there is a reason why it's expensive. First of all, we have to understand that compared to many parts of the world, African telecom operators have not really been able to rely on existing infrastructure such as wired system outside of affluent urban areas. So they invest a lot of money 20 years ago to build those infrastructure, and they have had to start from scratch, and they are trying to make their network profitable as quickly as possible. It's just business here. And then you have another factor is electricity. In Africa, electricity is really expensive and it's not very reliable. So you need to use a generator, then use gasoline for most of them. So it's really expensive. And then you have lack of servers on the continent. So they need to transfer all the data outside of Africa. It costs a lot of money, etc., etc. And the last component is high taxation. So this is why the price is really, really high for the majority of people in Africa. On the telecom companies, but at least the impact of the mobile industry has been positive. You know, we can see they create a lot of jobs. You know, they pay the taxes, so it's good for the government, and they generate and they represent 8% of the GDP compared to France, to European Union. Sorry, it's where it's literally the half, 4.5% of the GDP. Okay, so it's a huge industry. But guess what? For me, if we help this young generation to connect, to get access to internet and have access to the Web3, that will change everything. You know, in terms of jobs creation, in terms of education, finance, bankarization, etc. Because having access to internet and the Web3, it's also we allow them to have access to the DeFi services, education, and maybe why not job opportunities, because we want them to have access to the Web3, but also to be contributor to this Web3, and everything for just free, you know, internet free. But the model can be really sustainable, you know. If it's free, that means someone is a project, unfortunately. But we can do it, you know. Someone has to pay the internet bill at the end, you know. Someone has to pay the internet bills. So, but for us, the ads revenue can help, you know. People would like to help to reach a million of people connecting to your internet, and it could be sustainable business model. For us, that we cover the internet bills, and it could work, you know. That's for us not maybe the only option, but one of the options that will be free for the user and help them to have access to the internet. And we think that in the next 7 years, we will be able to connect 30 million of African students to the Web3 in 2030. If you have a question, I will be happy to answer your question. And voila. I'm going to stop the sharing. So if you have questions.
Thank you, Privat. It's been amazing to listen about your project and very inspiring. Actually, I do have a question, like, what are the biggest challenges at the moment, you know, regards to projects?
The biggest challenge is just the internet bill, you know. We want to help kids to have access to participate to the hackathon, etc. But just to have a proper 100 megabits, it costs a lot. Just for instance, in Gabon, it will cost 10,000 USD per month just to have to settle the internet in the university, where 25,000 people can have access to the internet and also to the Web3.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thanks. I think Bruno, do you want to ask a question? Are you muted?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, first one, Yves, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. I want to help you. I want only to share for the reason I am intense in projects Wifi education for Africa. My roots is from Angola too, from my mother. I think you forget one point, the art you go share from Africa, the most best rainbow in the world to share. So I want to tell you, if you want to take my contact, I am happy to organize some sponsors, everything, deployed some things with my community and all my investors I have in turn. For the reason, go use this move. The kid has teach the win for is from Africa, is a movie. C'est l'enfant qui a dompté le vent. And that's the way to the Web3 in Africa too. Is to give in the end of the kids the opportunity to share. With the Coca-Cola, he makes something crazy. What he go do with the computer or some resource. So with my part, you have my support. Tell me what it's possible to do, and my community, it's all ready to open to collaborate and share all what you do in Europe too, for you find some investors, and in my conference too. Okay. Thank you too, Yves. No, thank you too. Thank you too. Let's do it. More people, same of you, bro.
Okay,
this is amazing. Thank you so much, Bruno. And you see, this is also the way we want to support impactful projects like the ones you are bringing today to the table, Privat, is that this is something meaningful. And the only way is by building community. We have talked about it throughout this 4 hours that we have been here. But also, it is good to note that blockchain and creating impact, it is not only about doing I mean, of course we have the values and we have to be aligned with that, and we have to know why we want to do things, but we can also create a sustainable business model that can support the internet bill, for example, you know, and then the other bills for everybody that is involved. So it is important to also bring this sustainability into the business model. And you already have that. You're not sharing it here today, but yeah, anyone like Bruno who's interested in supporting Privat's vision, you can reach out to him and yeah, and just connect and interact and please support this. I'm gonna say it in Spanish quickly. O sea, la idea de estos proyectos como el que nos ha estado presentando aquí Privat es justamente entender que los proyectos de impacto también pueden ser sostenibles, sustentables a largo plazo a nivel de negocio también. No es solamente, o sea, tenemos que tener muy claros nuestros valores, el por qué lo queremos hacer, pero también tenemos que entender que pues hay que pagar cuentas, las cuentas del proyecto, las cuentas nuestras, las cuentas de todas las personas que están involucradas, y pues eso también lo puede tener un proyecto. Así que Privat ya tiene también un modelo de negocio definido, y para aquellas personas que quieran involucrarse en el proyecto, apoyar de alguna manera o incluso convertirse en inversionistas, pues pueden ponerse en contacto con él, y Privat, pues a través de Block&Change les podemos ayudar.